Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the College Football Preview Show after the bye week. Helmet stayed orange. It's a good thing. It's the way it needs to be.
It is a good thing.
It needs to stay that way the rest of the year. Casey Kendrick along with Robert Allen. And Robert, obviously, not a game to talk about this week, but there are some other games and some other things I want to talk about. We got an Ask Robert segment, and we got a pick segment coming up as well.
Well, can you have a better week of games in a conference than what the Big 12 had?
A lot of good games.
The only blowout was in Morgantown, West Virginia, where Tech blew out West Virginia. But all the other three games, Baylor, TCU, Baylor stays unbeaten, but they go to overtime, triple overtime, in fact. You've got the Texas-Kansas State game. K-State pops out to a 14-0 lead. Texas comes back. You have a kickoff return for a touchdown. And Dicker, the kicker, hits a field goal, walk-off field goal at the end of the game for a 3-point win for Texas. And then maybe the creme de la creme, although it's hard to top that Baylor-TCU game, is the OU-Iowa State game that night. And, you know, all the Sooner fans leave because they think they've blown Iowa State out. Oh, wait a minute. Brock Purdy brings them back. And Brock Purdy had 5 touchdown passes. Anyway, he's throwing for a 2-point. And you know what? I'm sitting there watching it, actually, with my wife and another couple. And I looked, and I looked at all of them. I said, Matt Campbell's going for 2.
Sure, we know.
And they looked at me and go, no way. And I said, no, Matt Campbell's going for 2. I guarantee it. And he did. And, you know, give Alex Grinch credit. Those two guys were teammates at Mount Union. And on the play of plays to win the game, they go toe-to-toe. And Alex Grinch, with that blitz, pass rusher gets in there where Purdy really had a little hard time seeing dead center, and that's where the tight end broke open. And he throws just to the left of that. Throws a perfect pass, hits the receiver in the gut, but give Pernell Motley credit. Motley gets it and picks it off.
So let's talk about this as one of my talking points. First off, the kid got mauled in the end zone. Mauled in the end zone. So, but you and I think are completely on different sides on this deal. Quit going for 2. Coaches, quit going for 2. You're killing yourselves. No, North Carolina against Clemson didn't work. Iowa State didn't work. I can give you 100 examples this year where coaches are going for 2 and it did not work. And you know what? To me, it's just I think they're throwing the games away on one play, and I completely disagree with it.
Well, you know what? I'm with you on this one.
Really?
He should not have gone for 2. No, because he didn't make it.
Sure.
If he'd made it, I'd be all for the 2.
I'd have still said not worth it.
I know you would.
I will tell you this, Robert. Here, let me give you a great example that really comes close to our hearts, okay? Last year, we go for 2 in Bedlam, and we did not get it. Now, again, it was there. It didn't happen. I've got a lot of theories on why this is not happening. It's more than just the play. But I'll save that for another time. But the other side of that is, let's go back to the re-kick. You know that year? What did we do? We kicked the PAT and we whipped their tails in overtime in Norman. It doesn't work at a large enough rate for me. Forget the analytics. Throw all that crap out the window because all I see is teams getting real close and getting their heart broken on one play.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't have as much of a problem with last year's Bedlam, and I'll tell you why. There was like a minute 3 left, and I'm thinking, no one has stopped anybody. There's a minute 3 left. More than likely, OU's going to get down close enough and kick a field goal to win it, whether you go for 2 or not. And I think the thing you're thinking is, rather than have the game tied, where there's that luxury for the other kicker, if I miss this, we're still going to overtime. So he's a little looser. If you have the 1-point lead, that kicker's got to think, ooh, I got to hit this or it's over. And I almost think that was, believe it or not, that would have gone through my head as a head coach.
Well, here's what would have gone through mine. Because I can certainly appreciate that take, but here's my take on even last year. First off is this, at least if we kick the PAT, they have to get in range. If we go for 2 and we get it, now we have forced them to be in anxious mode and have to go down, and we're less likely to play in overtime. And the other thing is this, again, if you kick the PAT, you at least force them to have to come down the field and get in that situation. And I think you would have forced their hand, and of course we didn't get it, so none of that played into it. So there's a lot of negatives, even if you do get it. I mean, Texas going for it, or not Texas, Kansas going for it against Texas. Yeah. And they did get it, and they did force Kansas to have to or Texas to come down and have to kick that field goal. So, I just think there's a lot of negatives that outweigh the positives. Now then, if you could show, well, here they beat them, here they beat them, here they beat them, you see what happened here, the underdog won this one, underdog won that one, then I go, yeah, you know what, I'm going to change my mind on this. But to this point, that's just not happening.
Yeah, and I like Matt Campbell, but I'm going to be honest here, and you're going to go, see? I was sitting there saying, I know you're going for 2, Matt.
I did too. I did the exact same thing.
Kick it and go to – and the common thought amongst coaches is if you're the underdog on the road, go for 2. Narrow the thing down to 1 play rather than –
the re-kick.
Yeah.
We were an underdog on the road.
Oh, I know.
And it paid off.
I know it paid off, and you can cite examples both ways. But here's my thing. When you've had to fight back the entire game to come back, which Iowa State did, you do basketball games. Basketball is the great prover of this, and that is it is so hard and takes so much out of you to fight back in a game you've trailed. So why not give yourself at least the aha moment of being tied and a chance maybe to extend the game in overtime? If it's been a nip and tuck game, kind of like Bedlam a year ago, I think, okay, hey, no one's stopping anybody. Go for 2, see what happens, and play it that way. I think you have to have a good feel for it, and I don't like coaches who do it every time, no matter what. That's more Matt Campbell. He's an aggressive coach.
Sure.
He's going to go for it every time. I think you have to make the decision based on all of the different components of the game, and make the best decision. If you think you're equipped to win in overtime, and and Matt Campbell could have thought this. That's why I would have gone for the extra point. Iowa State was at least moving the ball equally, if not a little bit better in the fourth quarter than Oklahoma.
And I'm going to tell you this: they had emotionally dog-whipped Oklahoma. They were done. I mean, that interception by Jalen Hurts was really bad, and what was a surefire couple touchdown win all of a sudden became a dogfight, and their sideline looked beat. Alex Grinch's defense looked whooped. I would have taken them to overtime and thought that I would have put, if this were a wagering opportunity, I would have put a lot of money on Iowa State.
Can I bring up my talking point?
Sure.
Now?
Sure.
One of mine?
Yeah.
My talking point is, a couple of weeks ago, if I had said, you know what, Oklahoma State's got a puncher's chance to go to Arlington and play for the Big 12 championship, you would have gone, Robert, you've lost it. You are way too crazy an orange sunshine pumper. No way. Well, after Saturday's, and we really could have used the Iowa State win. Baylor is inconsequential. Let Baylor go. Let that go. Let the homecoming loss go. Cheer the Bears on, because the Bears need to be Oklahoma State's opponent in Arlington. But here's what you need. After this Saturday, here's what you need. Texas has got Iowa State and Texas Tech and Baylor. Actually, not in that order. Iowa State, Baylor, Texas Tech, in that order. I believe Iowa State and Baylor are both on the road. Then they play Texas Tech at home at the end of, day after Thanksgiving. You need Texas to lose one of the 3. Chances, pretty decent. Texas is kind of a up and down roller coaster team. Okay. OU, you need them to lose 1 time. They go to Baylor this coming week. You need them to lose 1 time before they get to Stillwater. They go to Baylor, and then they have who do they have?
Who we looking for?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
They've got Baylor on the road, and then they've got TCU at home.
TCU at home, and then Oklahoma State.
And then Oklahoma State. You need Oklahoma to lose one of those two games. If those two things happen, Cowboy fans, along with you beating Kansas and West Virginia.
They've got to lose 2, Oklahoma, right? They're 5-1.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They need to lose one of these two before they get to Stillwater.
Oh, I got you.
Because
I got
you play Bedlam.
I got you, sure.
You beat Oklahoma. That's their third loss. You have the tiebreaker on them. Oklahoma State needs Texas to lose one more because they don't have the tiebreaker on Texas.
So let's do this. Kansas State has West Virginia. Kansas State has Texas Tech, and Kansas State has Iowa State.
And they have 3 losses in conference
They
right
do.
now.
So,
and you have the tiebreaker on them.
So here's the problem, though, or here's the question, Rob. Not the problem. It's a question. It would be an interesting one. First off, Iowa State.
Three-way.
Well, yeah, and you can't have a 4-way with that because Kansas State or Iowa State will give one or the other a 4th loss. Eventually, somebody's got to win that game. So a 3-way tie. What happens?
3-way tie.
Whoever
if everybody is
Baylor?
beating everybody, then it's if anybody's beating Baylor.
Yeah, and then after that, it becomes what? Highest ranked.
And you would not want Kansas State in there. No, Kansas State lost to Baylor. You really need OU to lose this week to Baylor. You need to really root for Baylor. And then if all 3 have lost to Baylor, then it would drop past those 3, and you probably get to Texas, and then Oklahoma would get the tiebreaker. But I'm hoping for a 2-way tie.
So there you go. And then there's a lot of. You're right. I mean, we talked about it last week.
Oklahoma State's got a puncher. I said a puncher's chance.
Yeah, it's not a great chance, but at least they're back in the conversation. Guess what? The Cowboys are in the top 25, which is absolutely amazing.
Well, they were last week.
I know.
Do you even look at the AP and the coaches poll now? I don't even look at it.
Can I tell you? I said this on my radio show about 3 weeks ago. I have not even looked at the AP, other than seeing that Oklahoma State got ranked. Right. I haven't looked at the AP one time. I have not called it up and looked at it one time.
No, I mean,
because it doesn't matter.
The only poll that matters is the college football playoff poll, and they made Oklahoma State 23rd last week. They may drop this week. I think they'll stay in, but
sure.
But they may drop a spot.
Some crazy games. We got to talk about Oklahoma State getting ready for Kansas this weekend. We'll do that coming up right after this.
The McCafe is now featuring cold brew coffee and cold brew frappes. Face the day with a cold brew coffee from the McCafe with a rich cold brew coffee blended with ice for a creamy frozen drink that's colder than cold brew. Or refresh with a cold creamy frappe. We start with a cold brew coffee, blended ice, and topped with whipped cream and rich chocolate drizzle for a great anytime frozen treat. McDonald's in Stillwater, Perkins, Perry, and Cushing. I'm loving it.
To all of our neighbors, friends, the people we see every day, we come to you today with no news or announcement, but to let you know what's on our hearts. Because quite simply, we feel honored. You're the reason that what we do is so much more meaningful than a job. The reason we believe in the power of investing in tomorrow. But you're also the reason we believe in the power of sharing the same neighborhoods and a loyalty that's bigger than any challenge. So this is simply thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to move forward and grow, but never lose sight of the roots that connect us. As we step boldly into a time of change and innovation, consider this our promise that every investment in our hospital is an investment in our communities. Because you're the reason we love what we do and love where we live.
From pumpkins and parades to parties and performances, October is full of orange and America's friendliest college town.
What better way to see the beautiful Oklahoma State University campus in the city of Stillwater than by running 13.1 miles on Sunday, October 6th in the Stilly Half.
500 competitors come together at the Cowboy Stampede. Watch them rope, ride, and wrestle.
As the world turns orange.
We are so excited about the Harvest Carnival, Walk Around, and the Sea of Orange Parade.
Something you and I have done for a number of years on the radio.
With Broadway shows and internationally acclaimed symphonies, the McKnight Center for the Performing Arts at Oklahoma State University is a world-class facility opening this October.
Trick or treat with the downtown merchants, enjoy the carnival games, inflatables, and the costume contest at the annual Halloween Festival. Don't miss a beat in America's friendliest college town. Check out our full listing of events at visitstillwater.org.
Kent and Barbara Houck have been saying they're a one-stop shop for many years. In 1951, the Houck Agency began insuring Oklahomans and since has expanded to insure people in 11 states across the country. The Houck Agency can find the policy that fits your needs, from business health coverage, individual health, home, auto, and long-term health care policies. They have a staff that can take care of financial planning, including retirement and investing. And Barbara Houck has been a realtor for over 35 years, and her contacts helped her buy and sell homes and commercial properties across the state. One-stop shop, the Houck Agency, 801 South Main in Stillwater. Call statewide toll-free at 800-543-8588. The Houck Agency, when experience counts.
Well, the Cowboys invite back Les Miles this week as the Mad Hatter comes in with a team that's been able to put a lot of odd combinations together, been competitive and done some things this year. And Robert, first off, excited to see Les Miles back in Stillwater. How odd will that be?
It'll be different. You know, I worked on something a lot of the day Sunday, the top 10 OSU wins with Les Miles involved. And it brought back a lot of memories. As I was going through it, I'm like, oh, I remember that day. And, of course, everybody, I think, remembers especially the 16-13 game in Norman. That was huge. But people forget he was part of the medallion game, the 12-0 win against either Blake or Schnellenberger. I don't know who was coaching at that point. It was one of those guys. And so, yeah, he was involved in – and number 10 came from Les's last season as head coach, but it was the opener. I didn't see anything in that season other than the opener that I really loved.
UCLA.
At UCLA,
which he tried to get out of.
Donovan Woods starts at quarterback, and the Cowboys, they may have thrown it 4 or 5 times. That's it.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, they didn't throw the ball hardly at all. They ran roughshod over UCLA. Just ran right over them in the Rose Bowl, and of course, yeah, I mean that was a nice win out in California against UCLA, but also that was the day I thought I was going to lose my job doing sidelines on the Cowboy Network, because I made what could have been a fatal mistake, and it was close, of telling Dave, come on down, I've got Gary Busey, and putting Gary Busey. Oh, God. I remember thinking, as we got deeper into this interview, I'm thinking, I'm going to get fired for this. I'm going to get fired. And eventually I said, Gary, Dave's got to describe this play. Dave, back up to you. I could not get a microphone back from somebody as quickly as later on, Mr. Busey, who I think is hilarious. I mean, yeah, he love it when he was trying to help Mike Gundy coach when he was here at the most recent game. But I believe he was escorted from the sidelines because some of the cheerleaders complained that when they were doing stunts, he was standing
a little too close.
Too close underneath. So
he was just trying to get a different vantage point.
He definitely had a different vantage point, but the people, they didn't arrest him or anything. They said, Mr. Busey, we've got a seat for you in the
Let's go this
stands,
way.
yeah.
Real quickly, 2 things. One is, what was game number 1, the biggest win? Was that the 16-13?
Game number 1 was actually, I think, a win. I want to say it was a win over Kansas State.
Okay.
Bob Simmons, when Les was offensive coordinator.
Oh, okay.
So, but there were, out of the 10 games, 3 were against Oklahoma. No, 4 were against Oklahoma.
There you go. Well, anytime you beat Oklahoma, it's huge. Also, okay, so real quickly, Kansas comes in here. What kind of game? What do you think they'll do to Oklahoma State?
They'll pull out all the stops. I mean, Les Miles, if you had told Les at the beginning of the year, give me an order of games you would like to win, he probably would have thrown OU out there first, just because OU is the top dog in the conference. Of his non-conference games, he won the one he probably wanted the most at Boston College. It was a huge win for Kansas. Broke their road streak, losing streak, and again, Boston College is probably going to be a bowl team. Of course, the ACC is bad.
It is really bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
And then, Oklahoma State might have been right up there, behind Oklahoma because he coached here. He knows it's always more fun to beat your friends and the people you maybe aren't friends with. And so, yeah, I think Les will come in with no holes barred. And this is the second off week since they changed offensive coordinators. So it gave them on offense another couple of weeks to install a few more RPOs. One thing I've noticed watching film, they upped their RPO count every game since they made the switch. And basically, the offensive coordinator now for Kansas State, and I'm looking here because I think I've got, I can't think of his name. Bearden is what I want to say. Dearman, Brent Dearman. God, he was coaching at, I think, Ottawa in Kansas.
Hey, you can't go to small schools and find good coaches. That's impossible.
No, excuse me. He was at Bethel, Bethel, Kansas. And
what? You can't find coaches.
No, you can't. Schools. Mike Gundy will tell you the best coaches in the country are in high school. Anyway, no, Brent Dearman has dragged Les Miles into spread formation football.
Yeah, if he'd been with him at LSU, might still be there. Finally, I just mull on this. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break. We got to get to the break, but it is rumored that one Zach Allen may be headed to Fayetteville. Take a break. We'll talk about that on the other side right after this.
Do you take multiple routine prescriptions for medical conditions such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, COPD, asthma, or arthritis? Are you tired of making multiple trips to the pharmacy each month to pick up refills of all your medications? Tiger Drug has a new, easy, convenient, and free synchronized refill program for you. We will work with your insurance so that your meds will all be available on your refill date so that there will be no waiting. Call one of our friendly staff members and ask how you can join the synchronized refill program at 405-372-7900 or stop by at 825 South Walnut. And be sure to ask about our vaccination program. Tiger Drug in Stillwater, where the customer comes first.
If you haven't been to TS Fork at White Barn Estates lately, we have an exciting new concept to tell you about. It's called Thirsty Thursdays, and it includes 4 courses of the same high-quality food as our other nights, and some of the best mixed drinks you've ever had. Best of all, no reservations are required. And while you're there, relax with a drink on our covered patio and check out the gift shop with Made in Oklahoma products. Go to tsfork.com for more details and to check out our upcoming special menus.
A lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides and have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Agent Wendell Stevens about Shelter's auto insurance discounts.
That's Robert, double-handed. Here we go. All right, we got short amount of time here. John Stillwater wants to know, why is Minnesota number 17?
They won't be this week.
Not in the CFP, but I think has the new AP come out?
Well, yeah, it came out. I don't even look at those.
I think they're
the
17.
CFP, I bet the CFP has them in the top 10.
Boy, they got to be way up
they
there.
Will.
Do you know
you beat number 4. You beat Penn State.
Can I tell you this? And we're going to bring this game up in our pick segments. They're an underdog to Iowa this week.
It's at Iowa.
It's at Iowa. Iowa's lost 3 games.
You know, we were talking about wagons. Young coaches hitch themselves to wagons.
Yeah. Zach Allen.
Young Zach has a wagon in Minneapolis at Minnesota.
Very good.
Clay Patterson.
Hey, keep hitching. Keep hitching.
That's a good place to have a wagon hitch.
And also, Lester of Stillwater wants to know, what's the latest bowl projections?
I'm still saying the Academy Sports and Outdoors Texas Bowl.
Not going back there.
No, I don't think the Alamo Bowl. But hey, again, if you work your way into one of those ties, if you're up there close, here's the problem. I don't think the Big 12 is going to have a playoff team.
No, I don't
so
either.
Your champion is going to go to the Sugar Bowl, and now your second goes to the Alamo, which would be probably the loser of the championship game.
Which we got to punch your
and then Kansas State and Iowa State, if they're up there around you, I hate to say this, Cowboy fans, but I'm just telling you the truth.
They travel.
If your Iowa State if Kansas State and Iowa State are up around you, where the bowl can pick over you one spot, they're going to pick them because they travel better. OSU, and part of that is OSU's been to so many bowl games, 14 in a row.
Sure.
And, Kansas State hadn't been. They didn't go last year. They're dying to get back out there. And Iowa State, they go. If their team's the last qualifier in the Big 12 basketball tournament, they pack the Sprint Center in Kansas City like they're the champs. I mean, it's crazy.
Hey, we got to take a break. If you want to know the last question and the last answer, we got some bonus coverage coming up for you on Twitter. We'll do that. But we got to get a break in, get our picks. We'll do that coming up next right after this.
Frontier Lanes is Stillwater's favorite family entertainment destination. Open 7 days a week, Ernie and the crew offer 16 lanes of bowling, but that's just where the fun begins. Knock down the pins to the sounds of your favorite tunes with our jukebox. The game room features pinball, pool, and exciting arcade games. And with a full snack bar, you can satisfy your thirst and get some of the best burgers and fries in town. Frontier Lanes near Airport Road at 3524 North Washington. Call 372-8584 and be sure to ask them about booking your child's next birthday party.
The Hideaway since 1957. The Hideaway is famous for a lot of things, including their off-the-charts fried mushrooms, incredible service, unbeatable lunch specials, and, of course, the one-of-a-kind pizza. Stillwater's pizza tradition begins and ends here, from the big country to the pizza of the gods. And even the sizes are famous, from the mini personal to the big kahuna. Like us on Facebook for unique offers, lunch or dinner, dine-in, pickup, or delivery. The Hideaway, 230 South Knobloch, or call 372-4777. More than a restaurant, it's a tradition.
Formal Fantasy in the heart of downtown Stillwater provides everything you need for your formal occasion. We have dresses, shoes, and jewelry to make you stand out on your special day. We offer tuxedo and suit rentals right here in Stillwater. Our staff of expert seamstresses will alter your clothing to fit perfectly, saving you from going from store to store to get everything you need for your event. From school dances to weddings, Formal Fantasy at 121 East 9th in downtown Stillwater is your formal store.
Life beyond the gravitational pull of the city requires a can-do attitude. It takes versatility to accomplish all that needs to be done, and enough power to never get in over your head. The Kubota L-Series tractor pulls up its bootstraps, hooks up to its many attachments, and gets the job done right. That's why it's the #1 selling compact tractor in America.
Okay, so got to go quickly. Last week we split. You're still one game ahead for the total on the season. Let's go through these. Notre Dame will be hosting Navy.
Notre Dame.
I like Notre Dame in this one as well. Georgia will travel to Auburn.
Wow. Georgia's a little bit beat up. I'm gonna take Georgia.
I got Georgia in this one.
Golly,
as well.
I tell you, we both may get beat.
It's tough. No, it's a very close ball game. Minnesota, do they come off an emotional letdown or do they beat Iowa? How do they do this? They get beat, they're beat. Iowa on the road.
I should take Minnesota. It's bad karma for me to take anybody right now other than Minnesota. I'll take Minnesota.
I got Minnesota as well. TCU travels to Lubbock, Texas.
Got the Frogs.
I do too. Yeah, very good. West Virginia at Kansas State.
Kansas State.
Yes, sir. Texas at Iowa State.
Taking Iowa State.
Oh, I thought I had you on that one. Didn't happen. All right. Oklahoma and Baylor.
Know what I want. Taking Oklahoma.
Going Bears.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Big dog.
I am taking the Bears to beat the Sooners. I got a lot of reasons why I don't have time for it here, but finally, give me a final. The Cowboys hosting Kansas.
45-21.
I've got the Cowboys winning 49-31, and going away, but still a few points scored by Kansas in this one. We're out of time. That's going to do it for us. Appreciate you guys tuning in another week. For Robert Allen, I'm Casey Kendrick. See you next time on the CFP.